Well, hello everyone and welcome to the final monthly Wargames update of 2024, and here it is, December. In fact, it is New Year's Eve, early hours of the morning when I'm doing this because I can't sleep, but it's in before the end of the year stroke month, which is the most important thing. So for the next 15-20 minutes I'll go through what's going on at Yorkshire Gamer, and as usual we'll start off with the newly painted units. And unsurprisingly, there was quite a few bits and pieces in the work in progress last month, so I've chosen this one to go first with, and this is the Fuselier Battalion from the 10th Prussian Line Regiment, the 1st Silesian, and you'll have seen the other two units in this regiment during the course of the year, and I'll pop them on at the end of the video as well so you can see all three battalions together. But this one is slightly different. Obviously this is the Fuselier Battalion, and we'll look a little bit more closely in a minute at the individual bases, but the front two bases are done with metal figures and the rear two bases are done with the plastic figures plus an add-on extra. So I'll zoom in on the bases themselves. So here we go with base number one, command base, and the Perrys do a little add-on pack that you can get that comes with 4 command figures for the Fusiliers, plus some backpacks for the plastics, and that's the officer here and the musician are 2 of the 4, and then the remaining 6 guys on here are all metal Fusilier figures. They do, I think, a skirmishing pack and a marching pack if I remember correctly. So we'll give them the full twirl. And these have been a little bit difficult to keep paint on. Occasionally get that with Perrys, well, with any metal figure. I don't know whether it's the releasing from the moulds, but these are a particular pain in the backside. So that is the first base, and then the second base is, again, you can see the 2 figures we've got here from the command pack, the NCO and probably another NCO, actually 2 NCOs, and again 6 guys with in the marching pose. Particularly like these because the blanket roll has the extra detail that the plastic figure doesn't have, and that's the buttons along the side of it, and I've done those in kind of like an old gold brass look, and I think they really bring the figures out very, very nicely. I think what I would have done if I'd thought about it is I probably would have used these 4 back rank figures as front rank figures on the base that you're going to look at in a minute, but I didn't and I forgot. So there we go. We've got 2 more bases obviously, and these are done with the plastic figures that come in the standard Perrys set, and with the 4 figures that I was talking about earlier on with the command, you get 36 of these backpacks, which are slightly different to the plastic ones. You can see there the sword knots on these are quite clear and very useful when you're distinguishing between companies. So that's blue there, and then these will be scarlet. The other 2 are green and yellow. So quite straightforward these. I wasn't sure how the black belting would look, but I think that's nice and dark. I've gone for a really, really dark blue colour for the Prussian infantry. So that is the first of this month's new stuff. So let's go back in time to the Italian Wars. So here is the unit of Stradiots that we were looking at last month in its work in progress. I think I'd finished a couple of bases if I remember rightly, and here is the full 12 figures. I know I moan on about 12 figure cavalry regiments, but I've actually bought different packs of this, and this actually works as a 2 6s rather than a 12. But sometimes I need to correct myself, if you know what I mean. These are Perry metal figures. The basic guys or the standard guys are westernised Stradiot, and they don't do a westernised Stradiot command, so I have used ordinary Stradiot command for that. And the idea with these, it's from the Perry's miniatures, and the Stradiots were Albanian light cavalry who fought for virtually everyone during the Italian wars, whoever paid them the most money or gave them the most loot. And this is representative of a Stradiot unit that's been in Italy for quite some time, and has borrowed various bits of armour during the course of its time in the country. So as usual, I'll just take a little quick look at some of the individual bases. So the first base I'm going to look at is the one with the flag, and this is a Venetian flag from Pete's Flags, and I've just done all my Stradiots with Venetian flags just to save me mucking around with them, and they've all got like an individual identity. They're going to fight for everyone during the battles that I play, but rather than swapping the flags round, I have decided to just use Venetian flags for them. And the chap on the right here, as you can see, with the rather wonderful top hat, they did have a steel cap underneath there if you're wondering about the protection, is in the traditional Stradiot style, and the other guy with the lance is the westernised Stradiot with plenty of armour on. So we'll move him to one side, bring a couple of the regular Stradiots up, and these have just been done in random colours, a few stripes here and there, quite a lot of armour on these, but as you would expect, you know, if they can nick it and it fits, they're going to have it. And somebody said, oh, they've got a lot of armour for light cavalry. Well, if you think these are heavy, and they would be in the Napoleonic times, have a look at the heavy cavalry, the gendarmes, from this period, and these are very much lightly armoured. So that's the unit of 12 Stradiots that I've done, and there's one more thing to have a look at. So here we are. I've not done one of these for a while. This is a 1/700 scale World War II ship, and we'll just stick some 28mm figures in just so you've got an idea of the scale. And this is a kit from Trumpeter, and you may or may not know, but I'm doing or trying to recreate the Battle of Narvik, and I need 10 German destroyers. I think this is number 6 or 7, and this is Z2 George Thiel, and they don't do a specific model for the Z2, which is the 1934 class, just 4 ships, and then after that it was the 1934 A class, slightly modified, but nobody does a model specifically for this ship. So I have used the standard Z7 Trumpeter kit, and sorry about the changes of light here, it just seems to be the way the focus is working today. And I've done the usual detail on the sea base. Let's zoom in and see if we can get some detail, bit of weathering on there, some splashes of water, just the general stuff that you would expect from a Yorkshire Gamer ship. And let's have a sail past, as we usually do. Now with this one I've done a little bit of camouflage. Now the German ships of the time would have been plain, but I'm trying to work a way of having 10 of these on the table and them being recognisable without people doing that, because as soon as people start lifting stuff up, that's when things are going to break. And these ships, the models, they're not designed for wargaming, and I need to be quite careful with these if I'm going to do a display with them, that people aren't overly touching them. So that's another destroyer done. I was trying to do one a month of these, but I kind of slipped back. So I'm trying to get back onto these, and I'm going to concentrate on the Narvik stuff rather than doing convoy stuff as well. So get used to these. There's going to be a few more in the coming months. So regular viewers will know that the white box of progress will have the current twerk in progress on the go, and I am currently working on a unit of 28mm French artillery from Elite Miniatures. Now I've done a test figure like I normally do, so let's get that chap out so we can have a look. And I'll just do some jiggery pokery to get him closer. So there he is. Although this is a very basic uniform, and you know, trousers same colour as the jacket, quite easy to paint. Really happy with the way this guy's come out. I think he's the absolute business. And getting used to, or getting back into painting the Elite Miniatures now, the way that they look and the very distinctive faces. I've even done the grenades on the back of the turnbacks there. So yeah, very happy with him. And there are 16 crew to do. Obviously that these are Elite Miniatures, you just look at them straight away and you can tell the faces and the poses are a classic Elite. So I'm well on with these. So that's a battery of 6-pounders. With the bases, I've stuck with a 60mm frontage, and I honestly don't know. I'm sure somebody can tell me in the comments what the frontage of guns are in Grand Manor. Can't remember, but I'm sticking with the same frontage for everything so that they're easier to box. And then I've gone purely with what is best to fit everything in. I've gone with a 90mm depth, and I've just glued two 45mm bases together just because I didn't have some 60x90s. I'm sure War Bases will sort me out next time I see them. So that will be, without a doubt, the first thing that you see in the January 25 edition. So let's have a look and see what we've bought. How much? How much? Not very much this month. I have only bought one thing, and I'm going to moan about it continuously, especially when I put them together. But it's these bad boys, French Line Lancers, and I did a review of these, and it was that bad that I didn't release it. There was a lot of swearing involved. So I have already got a box, if you remember from before, and another 3, so that will give me enough for 2 24 figure regiments, plus 4 spare for some command, for a command base. And if you've not seen, have I done an unboxing? Yes, I did an unboxing, but I didn't put it out because I moaned a lot. So if you've not seen these, you get a small pack with some 2 metal figures in, and you get these sprues, 6 of these sprues, which contain 2 figures, 2 heads, which is not a choice of heads, you only get 2 heads for 2 bodies, and 2 horses. And my big massive bugbear is these tiny little lugs on the bottom of the horse there. How much more would it have cost to print a plastic base? I just know even how much glue I put on those, they're going to snap, and I'm going to have loads of trouble with them in the future. But I've got 2 regiments of 24 of them. I'm probably going to take these plastic lancers off and put metal ones on, but these are a long way down the production list. I just bought them so that they are ready to go when I start on French cavalry. So I'm afraid that's it on the stuff we've bought. It's time to move on to games we've played. Earlier this month, I attended the Recon Show at Pudsey, which is a lovely sort of bookend to the year. It's a relatively small show in the Civic Hall at Pudsey, which is the town I live in. And I always like to support the show if I can, and I put on the Battle of Mentana game that you've seen many times if you've followed this monthly update on a regular basis, and it was a lovely time. It's a relatively small show, as I say, but very friendly. Lots of people coming round and having a chat. We were upstairs in what is now our usual position, near the Bring and Buy, and saw lots of regular people. Lots of listeners came up and had a chat, and it was a lovely day out and a lovely end to the wargaming season. And back next year at York with an Italian Wars game, and Mentana will have its finale at Salute. So it's time, as always, to have a quick look at the scores on the doors with followers from Yorkshire Gamer. First of all, as always, thank you very much for following Yorkshire Gamer wherever you do. And it's been a fantastic year. We've had lots and lots of new followers, lots to do with the World Cup, who came on board, World Cup of Wargames figures manufacturers, people who listen to the podcast, people who watch the monthly downloads. It's great. Thank you very much for following. So Facebook, we're up 24, 2943. Twitter's, the exodus has slowed down on there, only down 9 this month, and I've noticed the last couple of weeks things are picking up on there again after the initial loss of people, and there's more people joining on board every day, so no issues there on Twitter's. I'm not into the politics of it. I just think it's a really good community for wargaming. Insta up 8, just ticking away up and down around 3,700 for a long time now. YouTube's up at 63. Trying to do more on the YouTubes, trying to do a video a week, and the Italian Wars series is coming up soon as well, so look forward to that. Hope to have one of those out, if not next week, the week after. Podcast up 400, up to 403. This is right. I've found out now that this is just on Podbean, and Spotify have followers as well. There's about 400 on Spotify as well, so I'm sure Apple Podcasts do as well. So the podcast overall is probably a lot more than that. I just don't know where they are. So Facebook group 4841 up 4, very steady there. Podcast download, we'll talk about the latest podcast in a moment. 161,130, up 2,500 in this month. So thank you for tuning in. If you've not listened, you will find out in a minute, but the Christmas edition is out, and I hope to get cracking with a couple of episodes in the new year. Blue Sky continuing to grow, lots of nice interactions on there. I'm starting to notice politics creeping. I'm starting to notice the scantily clad ladies creeping in, and all the stuff that made Twitter really bad. So the wargaming community, as it is on Twitter, is absolutely superb. So if you're not on Blue Sky, give it a go. Otherwise, Twitter, fantastic community. And then if you're more interested in Yorkshire Gamer, the Facebook page is just my stuff. The Facebook group is everybody's stuff, and there's some great people who post their big games on there, which is fantastic to see. And I'm really, really ruthless when it comes to things like 3D spammers and stuff like that. They're gone. If you want to advertise, you ask me and you get one post a week. Simple as that. So that's it for that. Let's have a look at other things going on in Yorkshire Gamer, the videos we've had out, and the podcast. So I've decided to do a little bit more on the YouTube channel and try and get one video out a week. And I already do one of these a month, so there's one. And podcast, there's 2. So here's what I did earlier this month, Calpay Miniatures Prussian Landwehr review. If you've not seen Calpay Miniatures, they are different gravy when it comes to Napoleonics. Well worth checking out, and well worth buying a few. I also did a figure review on the Victrix 28mm Medieval Knights. I've had these for a while, not done anything with them, and I thought it was a good time and a good subject to get going again on some figure reviews, and about 2,500 views, so really popular. Obviously a lot of people are enjoying this set, and I've got to say they are great. Also this month is the episode 65 of the Yorkshire Gamer podcast. If you're not listening to it, why not get yourself listening? And I've put this out on YouTube and on audio. I put it out through Podbean and they've both come out on the same day. It's a bit of a laugh. We have lots of jokes about various things. Please don't get upset if you're a skirmish gamer, but we might have a go at one or two things. So there you have it. That was 2024. So thank you very much once again for tuning into Yorkshire Gamer. Here's a look at the regiment of Prussians for lots of 32 28mm figures that finished during the back end of the year for the Plants in Wild project. Up next for them will be some landwear. Looking forward to doing lots of landwear. Can't believe how much landwear there is in the Waterland Glue campaign. But so there's basically another 6 battalions of landwear to go with this to form a brigade. So there we are. It just leaves me the opportunity to wish you all the best for 2025. And I hope you have a fantastic new year. Don't drink too much tonight. And I'll see you at a Wargames show somewhere in the UK this year. See you then.